Good morning and welcome to Leo Moon Arts. Today I've dragged out the alcohol inks and we're going to try a different kind of project. One that I have done before a long time ago, but I haven't done it in a while. Haven't had my inks out for a little while. So now we're going to create some backgrounds to be able to do some of the things that I've just been talking about. I'd also like to go through a few different ways that you can create backgrounds and things that you can do. So to start off with, I'm just going to start putting down some ink, and at this stage I've got some blending solution, but I also have some isopropyl alcohol, and I'll probably end up using both of those. This is a brass, it's what do they call it? It's a brass pigment powder, and I've just added some alcohol ink, some alcohol to it, and it turns out really pretty on here. Because I seal all my work anyway, this will be fine to use in this scenario. But if you're going to use something like that, you'll need to what would they call it, varnish over it, or put something over the top to stop it from flaking off. Okay, so to start off with, I've just got my little Couture Creations hand pump, and I'm just going to lay down some colours. So I've got some grape. Let's throw some of that on there. Got a little bit of this flamingo, which is, these are all Couture Creations inks. I might just, whoops, I'm going to throw in a bit of gold in this one. This is a metallic ink. This is a pearl ink. You hear the little thingo in the bottom. You want to make sure you give it a really good shake. This is actually my go-to gold for alcohol inking. I really like this one. I have other ones. Don't know why that happened. That's better. I do have other ones. I've got a Tim Holtz one, and I've got the brass from Pinata, and I still go back to this one each time. So this one I'm just going to use some alcohol, some isopropyl alcohol. I'll throw a bit of this on there. I'm not going to be stingy with it. I want a fair amount of alcohol on this because I want it to move quite freely. So today I'm using Couture Creations synthetic paper as well, and I'll show you something with that in a minute, and a couple of other different brands that I do tend to use along with this one. The synthetic paper that Couture Creations has, like normal UPO, has a really large staining quality to it. So I'm just going to put a bit more pink into this, a bit over here, a little bit more alcohol on those places, just to break up that gold a bit as well, so it goes over there. So this is our first background. So these backgrounds do not have to be just used to create cards. So I've used some of these before, and I have made cards with them, sure. Great way to use them up, give a stunning effect. And basically all I'm doing at the moment is, while that alcohol's still sitting on there, I'm just trying to break up that gold a bit, because I want it to be all over it. It just gives it that really nice bit of sparkle. So this is what I've done with the with a hand puffer, and this has turned out really pretty. So I'm going to put this one aside now, and I'm going to let it dry, and we'll come back to some other things. So that's with a hand blower. My next one that I'm going to do, where did I put the other ones? This next one I'm going to use a hairdryer to move everything around. So we're going to start off with, actually no, I might use those same colours, and I'm going to do one using the blending solution. So I like to add my blending solution first when I'm using blending solution. Pop it down. Got our pink flamingo out again, and we're going to use some grape. And this time I'm going to use the hand blower again for this one, mainly because I want you to see if there's any discernible differences between using the alcohol blending solution or the isopropyl alcohol. Let's see if we can see if there's any differences. And I'm going to need more than just one in these colours to do our project at the very end. This does get messy, so as you're blowing it around, it will, if you're using quite a lot of force, it will blow onto your clothes and stuff. So make sure you're wearing clothes that you don't mind getting a bit of ink on, and maybe protect your surfaces if you're doing this indoors somewhere and you don't want it to get on your walls and things. Just that one little spot wouldn't cover. Oh, there we go, got it now. Okay, when they're dry, we'll come back and we'll have a look at both of those side by side. Blending solution, alcoholic. Okay, so our next one, I'm going to use the hairdryer to blow the inks around with. So another 2 pieces here. So this time I might use Midnight, which is our black. I'll put this one aside. We might do our blending solution first. So these are Couture Creations inks and blending solution. So I'm going to push this around. I might add a little bit of gold into this now. So this is the alcohol ink pearl gold. Ooh, a couple of big spots. Let's move it around with the rest of it. Okay. So this is the one we've done with the blending solution. So when you're using alcoholics, you do need to be a little bit careful. I highly recommend that you have a window open or do it outdoors ideally. In my art room, I sit right by a window, so I have a window on. I have the overhead fan on as well. And we'll just put that one aside. If I wasn't filming this, I would actually have a full mask on, which actually covers my eyes and my face, and it's got a vapor thing in it so that you stay safe. So our next one is going to be the black and gold with the alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Alcohol on, black on. This time I'm just going to add our, bit of gold a bit earlier. Okay, and same thing again. Okay, so this one's the one done with the isopropyl alcohol. I'll just pop it aside at the moment. Isopropyl. Okay, now, so that's both done with the hand blower. Okay, so our next two are going to be done with our hairdryer. So this is a Vidal Sassoon hairdryer. I think it's about 800 watts. I think I paid about $50 for it, and I brought it in at Priceline, I want to say. So I'm pretty sure I brought this at Priceline. I brought it quite a few years ago, and it's great. It's the lowest wattage one that I could find here in Australia. So that's why I got that one. So this time I'm going to go with some, let's go with some blues. So I've got a bit of navy here. Some navy. Maybe a bit of this bright kiwi fruit as well. And once again, we'll go with the blending solution from Couture Creations and see how this all turns out. Okay, I need some more blending solution on here, and I might need to add a little bit more ink as well. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit more kiwi on here. And a little bit more navy. Now I'm just going to drop in a bit of this copper. So Okay, we'll put that one aside. That's with the blending solution. And we'll do this next one. We're going to do with isopropyl alcohol. So we're going to go with the navy. That's what we had the last time. Where'd I put that? There it is. So we've got some navy. And the kiwi. And now we're going to go in with our isopropyl alcohol. And I really want to quite saturate that a bit. Okay, so you won't hear me talking now. I'm just going to turn this on. Okay, so these are the techniques that I'm going to show you this week. I think my next one, I'm going to do another alcohol ink one, and I'm going to show you some other things. So today we're actually going to be burning some holes into our UPO. I'll bring these other pieces back once they're properly dried. Excuse me for a minute, I'm just popping these up out of the way a bit. That's that one, that's this one. And then you'll be able to see some of the differences. They're not quite dry properly yet, so I might just stop the camera and then I'll come back once they're all dry. Okay, I've dried these off. Now this is the one that had the blending solution, and this is the one that had the alcohol. So the discernible differences that I can see are this one's much lighter, but I could make it darker if I added more ink to it. The copper that was put onto this one broke apart a lot more easily because I think the blending solution is it's heavier. It's I don't know what it's got in it. It must have some sort of glycerine, I'm going to say. Maybe it's not glycerine, maybe it's a resin base, I don't know. But I do find that with the isopropyl alcohol, if you're going to use metallics, they move a lot better with that. Although the isopropyl alcohol will wash out your colour a bit. Now this one, the metallics didn't break apart as much. If you live somewhere where it's very humid, these are going to take a lot longer to dry, which it's very humid here today. So I found it quite difficult to get it to dry properly. I ended up using a little bit of heat on it, not a lot. And if I do use heat on it, I make sure I'm moving the piece all the time. Some other things, this one didn't break, the copper didn't break apart, the metallic didn't break apart in this one, and that was the one with the blending solution. So they're things that you can actually naturally see that's happened with those two. Let's see if it's true. I think sometimes too, you've got to be, it depends on what colours you use. So like that navy blue and that kiwi fruit, like the kiwi fruit's not too staining, but the navy blue is very staining. And I wonder whether that has something to do with it. But either way, that's just something to note. If you wanted to keep your depth of colour, use blending solution. If you don't mind if it's a little bit washed out, then use isopropyl alcohol. So we'll just get back to these ones. So this one is our blending solution, and this one is our isopropyl alcohol. The same thing again. And these ones we did with the hand blower. So once again, this one took a lot longer to dry, and we have the same contrast again. Although with the pearl gold, which is what we used on these, it did break apart on both of them using whether you use the alcohol blending solution or the isopropyl alcohol. So they did, but there's still a definite difference with the colour. So this one here was the blending solution. It's kept its colour a lot better, whereas this one's a little bit more washed out, but both are still very usable. Last but not least is our blacks. Okay, so this one is the alcohol ink blending solution. It has kept its colour a little bit better, but I find black very flattening. So for me, it wouldn't matter which way I went. Black just flattens everything out quite a lot. So I'm wondering whether if I put some more blending solution and some more black over the top, for whatever reason, this Midnight, which is this one here, I think to get the depth of black that you would like, you would have to use it nearly straight. And I might add a little bit onto this one. I'll see how I feel about it when we move on to the next step that we're going to do. And this is with the isopropyl alcohol. Pretty happy with the way that's turned out. Like again, once again, you're going to have those bits that the colour gets washed out with isopropyl alcohol. But it did with the black on this one too. So, interesting to see. So let's put these all together now. So I'm going to leave the two pink ones alone, those two pinky purpley ones, and we're going to work on these ones. So this technique we will be doing some layering, and what we're going to, I'm just going to move these inks out of the way because I don't want anything in my way while I do this next part. Today we're going to use what do they call it? It's a wood burning tool, a pyrography tool. I brought mine a couple of years ago now. I'll show that to you in just a second. I've already got it all set up, ready to go. I've set up two, I'm just going to move all this alcohol stuff out the way when I'm playing with flammables. Okay, so that's all out the way. So this is I'll put these out the way for a minute while I show you. This is my pyrography setup. I can't tell you what I paid for it. I bought it online. So basically I will turn this on, turn the switch on, and then I will adjust the temperature to what I want. So this in particular nib has a little round ball on it. The other one that I've set up as well has a larger round ball on it. But within this pack, let's move this back out of our way. A little stand for it to sit on. Where did I put that? Here it is. So in your little kit that you'll get, if you decided to buy one like mine, it will come with all of that's a large ball, that one, but it'll come with a heap of these burning tools. So that's quite a wide one if you're doing some thick stuff. There's all different sorts, and they all make different shapes, and yeah, depending on what you like. I mean, this one, I look at this one and I automatically think you could do fish scales with that. But there's a few different ones there. So I'll just pop these all back in there. I'm going to turn my unit on. Okay, what's going on? Plugged in. I haven't plugged in yet. Okay, now it's plugged in. The red light on it, it's got a red light on it, that'll go out once it's reached temperature. So I've just got it on one of the lower settings at the moment, just past on, because I don't need it to be too hot. Well, not that I know of. I don't think I'm going to need it too hot for this project. So on the back side of our pieces, if you get yourself, while this is heating up, if you get yourself, I'm going to use a micron pen. I'm just going to draw some different circles. Not that one's not working. Just draw some circles or some oval shapes. We're just going to do that all over the paper. I have small, medium, large ones. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to burn some holes into this paper. And then we're going to layer them up. And see what it looks like. You might want to leave a little bit of room around your edge, and you might want to leave a little bit of room between some of them, because we're going to need to use some dimensional pads to stick this all together. Okay, I think that's enough for that first one. Let me check and see if this is ready yet, if it's hot enough. So basically I'm going to take the little ball piece and I'm going to put it right in the center of my piece. Yep. And then I'm just going to, actually I should do it from this side. And I'm just going to make the hole bigger as I go. Probably can be a little bit hotter. It's not making a very smooth transition yet. Just double checking. Once again, you need to do this in a very well ventilated room, and mine is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edge of this now, and so all the bits will go onto the other side. Just put that there for a minute, and then Hold on, I'll just grab it so you can see what I'm going to do. Where did I put that? Here we go. I've got a sanding block. And this sanding block, this is a fine one. I'm just going to get on the other side of this, and I'm just going to give that a little bit of a sand just to take those edge pieces off. I might use a different type of bit. I think I've got a bigger one. Let's turn this off for a minute. I'm going to get the next. So I have 2 of these cords with these on them. You can get machines that will do 2 at once. Okay, that's on. Put that one on, let that one heat up. We could go in and just tidy all of this up. I might have to get maybe a small piece of sandpaper and make it into a circle and just push it through, just to tidy up those circles a bit. Just a couple of pieces on there that I'm not so happy with, but they will be fine. We won't notice them so much once I get going with this a bit better. Let's check this now. So I've got there's a bigger ball on the end of this now, so let's see how that goes. And I'm just generally just trying to tidy up that edge a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go on here again, and let's do one. I'm just going to do around the outside of this one. I can see it's starting to melt. The reason I like these balled ones is because there's a little groove underneath it, and I can actually just run that little groove all the way around and create that shape and hopefully make it a little tidier. There's one. So this one we're going to go do these ones first. Just remember we've got to sand some of these back as well. Now I'm not noticing any in particular smell from burning this like this, so that's pretty good. Okay, pull that out. Oh, I'm going to put some circles in amongst this lot. Okay. Okay, let's do this next one. Take this one out. Now you can do as much or as little of this as you like. Another tool that would work very well for this would be a soldering iron. So if your husband, your partner, your boyfriend, your dad, if they've got a soldering iron down the shed, you might want to ask him if you can borrow it to do some of this. I have seen people do it with that as well. So I'm just going to turn this camera off now for a little bit, and I'm going to finish doing this, and then when I come back we'll move on to the next step. So essentially all I'm doing is burning those holes through this. It looks a bit untidy at the moment, but it will get better. It will get better in the end. Okay, I'm just going to stop here for a minute and I'll come back when I'm done all the holes. Okay, I'm back. I've done the first piece. I'm not happy with how light it is, so I'm thinking that I've turned my thingo off again now. I'm thinking that I might put some more black over it, more of our midnight, and I'd like to take my an alcohol ink marker. This is a Couture Creations one, but there's plenty of brands out there. And I just want to make sure that all of those, inside those holes, is nice and dark. Doesn't matter if it goes up around the top a little bit. So I'm just going to go around and do that on this next part. So I'll get that done, but I might just go through and do this bit first. So I'm wanting to make sure I've got a deeper black. Now I have also sanded around the back of this on the other side. Where's my puffer gone? There it is. So this may also mean I may have to add some more gold to this again, but I'm just wanting to darken this up. More isopropyl here. Going to come around, just going to do it section by section and see what I feel it needs adding to it. So I'd like this gold here to be broken up a little bit more. And I really want to try and achieve a really rich black. As you can see, it's still a bit wet. You can see it moving with all the bits there. I might just grab some of that pearl gold that we have. Just want to add a little bit of it up here. A few drops of isopropyl, and we'll start moving that around. another couple of drops of alcohol just to let that move freely. I'm much happier with that now that I've got that extra bit of black in there. So I'm just going to grab the brush end and I'm just going to darken up around the inside of these holes. I want them to be quite dark. They are still a little bit jagged. I'll have to find something long and thin that I can put some sandpaper onto to smooth these out for the next time. I know I used to have something ages ago, but I haven't done this for a while, so that's better. Might be worthwhile doing your like doing this in reverse, so maybe doing the cutting out first and then use your colour on the top of it after you've done all your cutouts. So this is quite a grungy little piece, which I'm quite enjoying. Okay, that one there. Just change up all those little pieces that you think that are not quite black and make them a little blacker with using an alcohol ink pen. So I'm going to put a bit more black around here. Okay. Oh, here it is. Oops. Okay, the little nib on my bottle went all the way in when I put the thing back on it. So I'm just going to put a little bit more alcohol on this piece here just to make it look a little bit more organic. Because I use the, yeah, that's better. Okay. So our next piece, now you can go with any piece that you like, but our next piece is going to sit underneath this. Now if you wanted to make this 2 or 3 or 4 layers, you can, but you've just got to, when you do it, you're going to have to figure out, you want these pieces to show in the holes. It's okay to have some that may have holes in it as well, but you want to be able to, every time you do a piece, you want to be able to see this piece, you want to see this piece through this piece, and then if you've done another one underneath, you want to see that piece through this piece. So all the way through. You can do, sometimes I've seen them where there's next to nothing left, only like a spider web, which is probably not a bad idea. But you don't even have to do it in this black and gold. If you wanted to do both of them, you could actually go and do something totally different. You could do some of our pink ones underneath. That looks rather pretty. I do like this green and copper one too. But I think I'll stick with the same colour. So this time I know that I'm not going to do anything with that circle there. So I want to go in between. So that's going to have to face that way so that I can work out where I need to go. So what I will do is I'm just going to take a pencil. Okay. And I'm going to mark out where all of these ones are on it. So essentially using this like a stencil, because these are the pieces that I need to leave behind. This is only going to be a 2-layer dimensional piece. Ooh, come back here, please. Okay. Okay, that piece is still a bit wet, so it's left some of that on there as well. So now we'll start again. So I'll turn my, put those away first. So I'm just going to put this alcohol away and my inks, because they are flammable. Take it away from there. So this time we're going to make holes around the outside of these ones. So I might make a bigger hole here. Just going to go this way. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to turn this off here and I'll come back when I've finished doing it. Okay, I've finished burning the holes through this one, and I'm just taking the sandpaper and I'm just sanding across the back just to smooth over any of those really rough areas. Okay, and like the other one, I'm not happy with the amount of darkness I have on this, so once again I'm going to grab a few bits. I'll just bend that over there. I'm going to start to put some more dark into this. So same thing as what we did before. Just going to add some alcohol ink. A little puffer. Grab some isopropyl, pour some on. Just trying to create that darker. That's better. just trying to get a bit more depth into the colour, so it makes it look a lot more interesting to look at. Okay, a bit more isopropyl again. Okay, just going to finish drying this one off. I want this bit of gold here. Here is a little bit too big. I just want it to break up a bit. What I might need is a little paintbrush, just to get that, just to get it moving a bit. That's better. And add a dot of black back in there too, so that still keeps that dark. Okay, yep, happy with that. So this piece just has to dry off really now. Yeah, there's a couple of ways you can do this. Once we get this dry, we'll start assembling it. So I'll be honest, usually I don't use these. Normally if I'm going to be doing a big lot of having to dry something off, I will normally either use my hairdryer or I will use my airbrush because it dries it a lot quicker. And today being so humid, it just makes it a little harder to dry it. It doesn't sort of want to dry as quickly as normal. You see how some of these bits look a bit funny when you move them. Not sure whether you can see that. They're sort of like a little bit sticky and globby. That's because of the humidity that we have in the air here today. So humidity and alcohol inks don't normally go hand in hand. Doesn't really like it all that much. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to do my brush work on the inside of the rings. So we get that nice darkness around there. I don't want to be able to see any of the white of the paper. That bit there. Most of them are pretty good on this one, especially now that we're putting the ink back over the top of it. Okay, that will probably do that one. So now, if we put this one down that way, we can put this one on top. And see how you can see each layer? So you could add as many layers as you like to yours. I'm only going to do the 2 layers today. I just wanted to do this to show you how it will work. I'm just going to grab a piece of board to pop this onto. size. Yep, that's the right size. So I would normally glue this piece down. Now I can go this way with it, or I can put the larger one on the bottom and then go this way. And that's still quite an interesting look, and I think I actually prefer it that way. So what are we going to glue this down with? So I just need to grab a slightly bigger piece. It's a bit bigger. Not long enough though. Yep, that one's better. Okay, so I'm going to use some dimensionals to put this together. These would be nice in a shadow box as well. Things that you can glue it with. There is a few. So I don't mind using the quick dry tacky glue. Quick dry adhesive. And turbo tacky. So if I'm going to use glues, these would be the two that I would choose. But today, I think I'm going to go with double-sided tape. I think that's where I'm sitting with it today. So I've just got this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on the back side. Just put some of this double-sided tape on it. Oops. Buggered that up, didn't I? Let's do this over here. So we do want it to sit reasonably flat on our board. And I want to make sure I've got enough I've not used this one before. This is the first time I've used it, so I do quite like this idea a lot. So some other things you could do with this. You could actually have something drawn on your background, like on this piece, and you would see that. So I'm just eyeballing this. It needs to come down a little bit. I'm just going to turn it over like that. I'm just going to grab my brayer. Going to brayer over the top of it. Okay, so there's our piece, our first piece down, and this one's going to go on the top. So I'm going to finish with this now, so I'm just going to pop that back in its drawer, and so next I want to get some dimensional foam dot pieces. What ones have I got? Those ones are probably the right size. So these ones are size. Can I see the size, please? Bad. Yep. I know that's 900. They're self-adhesive white foam squares. These are quite a small one. I can't see the size on there, guys, so I can't tell you what size they are. Let me have another look. They're acid-free. If you feel safer, you could also add a little bit of glue to these as well. So let me just take this out, that's the side. Okay, so when we put these on, we want to make sure we've got them. Oh, where's my pokey tool? Okay, this one. No, not that one. Don't know where that's gone. Okay, so we're going to grab one of these. I'm going to pull it off. Oh, pop it on there. I'm just going to use the back of it to hold it on. I'm going to pull the back, this top piece off. But I'm going to stick them too high. So I want one on top of the other. And then I'm going to take that other piece off again. There we go. And so we're going to do that all the way around. One, two, three. One over here. One in this corner. One over in this corner. One in this corner. And then I'm just going to go around, I'm going to take the top off them and pop another one on top of each of them. Okay, take that one off. Pop another one on top. Okay, that one's done. Got this one here. Sorry, I hope I haven't got you out of focus there. That piece off. Top. Off there. Okay, I've got this one to do, and I think we've got them all done. Okay, flip back over here. Now, pop this down on top. And there is our three-dimensional piece. Quite like it. Me personally, I think I would continue to add pieces until I'm happy with it. Whilst I don't mind this, don't mind it at all, I think it needs more doing to it than what it is at the moment, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you how to do it and give you an idea of something different to try. There is so many things that you can do with this piece. These would look great if you're doing a grungy junk journal. It could be nice on a cover, or a nice tag could be done with it. Let me see if I've got some here. Here we go. I had this out earlier. So I've got some like these cogs. You know, you can put some of these throughout your piece. I've got little skulls. I've got a camera.
Get a crab. You know, there's lots that you can put onto this, and you could take it a lot further than what I've gone with it here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this piece yet. I have some other pieces there that I want to play with as well. This is just an idea for you to play around with, and just a different technique to use other than making just plain backgrounds. You could put, like I said, you could draw on this piece that I've actually stuck it to and do something completely different than what I've done. I would be very interested to see if you do something with, if you do something like this and you have a go at it and you do more layers, or you do something a bit different to what I've done, I'd be really interested to have a look. So please don't hesitate to write me something down below in the comments box, and happy to answer any questions that you may have about this type of alcohol inking. Lots of different things. It leaves so much to the imagination. There's different sized holes. Like, I mean, the next one that goes on top, I'd probably put bigger holes in it. And then if you've done a fourth one, then you'd do more holes. And I suppose as you're getting higher, you're going to have to look at maybe doing it into maybe like a shadow box type of scenario, which would look really cool with something like this. Next time I might do it on a different bit of background paper. This was just some Couture Creations cardstock. But yeah, this is really a cool project. I think this is something a little different that you don't see a lot of. We've got our other backgrounds, and I will continue to do some other things with those, but that'll be in a next video. So today, essentially what I've shown you is how to burn your synthetic paper to create a dimensional piece of artwork. You can take this as far as you like. I've also shown you the difference between using isopropyl alcohol and alcohol ink blending solution. They are different. As you can see here, one has more colour and the other one is a lot lighter. So the one that has more colour is normally done with blending solution because it doesn't dilute the colour, whereas the isopropyl alcohol will dilute your colour a little bit. But there's easy fixes for that as well, depending on which way you'd like to go. I love this green one with the copper, and I like this one, but I'd like this one to be a brighter colour, so I'd probably add more to this to get it to where I wanted it. But that's all for me today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.